Good morning, boys and girls, mommies and poppies, and grandmommies and grandpoppies. Today's story is Mommy Pig Remembers. Ooh, what does she remember? Well, the boys woke up from their nap and they came downstairs. They'd had a real good day or good week at school, the first week. And today was Saturday, and they were kind of lazing around the house. And when they came down the stairs, Mommy Piggy was sitting in her rocking chair in the living room, and she had a book and she was looking at it. And she kind of dabbed her eyes with her handkerchief, and they looked at each other and they said, "Is Mama crying? Is Mommy sad? What did we do now? Did we do anything wrong?" And Squiggly says, "I don't think we did." So they went up to Mommy and they said, Mommy, are you okay?" And she smiled and she said, "Oh, yes, boys. I was just sitting here looking at my diary and all the things that I have written about you boys. And oh my gracious sakes, we had such a good time this past year." And they said, "Tell us a story." And Mommy Piggy says, "Well, do you remember when we went to Mr. Farmer Brown's strawberry field and we picked strawberries? And Piggly or Wiggly, which one of you found the snake and you scared Sally Skunk?" Squiggly laughed and laughed. He says, "I remember that." And Piggly and Wiggly says, "Oh, we had so much fun that day, Mama, didn't we?" And she said, "Well, yes, you did, except that you shouldn't have scared Sally Skunk so bad. Remember, she hid and we had to go and stop picking our strawberries and go find her?" "Well, yeah, we do, and we're sorry." And we told her we were sorry. "We haven't done that again, have we?" And Mommy Piggy says, "No, you sure haven't." "What else did we do? What else did we do?" And Mommy Pig says, "Well, remember our special vacation this last summer in Daytona Beach? And what did you boys do?" "Oh, Mommy, that was our sandcastle building. We had so much fun with the sandcastle building. And Little Bad Wolf and Mr. Farmer Brown and Mrs. Farmer Brown, they came over, and oh my gosh, it was so much fun. And we took the trophy. See the trophy, Mommy? We took second place, didn't we?" "Yes, you boys sure did. And Mommy was so proud of you." "Oh, my gracious sakes. And Mommy, I remember something." And Mommy Pig says, "What do you remember, Wiggly?" "I remember Princess Hannah. What was her name? She had all those first names." And Mommy Pig says, "Well, I wrote all of her names down. Her name was Princess Hannah Lilia Lucy Octavia." "What was her last name?" "Well, let me see. It was D. Van Beckenridge." "That's a mouthful too, isn't it?" Squiggly says, D. Van Beckenridge. Wow. And Piggly and Wiggly says, D. Van Beckenridge. No, not Beckenridge. Beckenridge. D. Van Beckenridge. No. Well, this went on for about 5 minutes on Wiggly and Piggly trying to pronounce the last name, D. Van Beckenridge. So, Mommy says, "Do you remember anything else?" And they said, "Well, we remember that we're supposed to go to Albania next summer." And Mommy Pig says, "I know, isn't that going to be remarkable? We all get to go. We're all invited, even Mrs. Farmer Brown and Mr. Farmer Brown, because remember, Hannah stayed with them." "Oh, yes, we had such a good time. We had such good fun." And Mommy Piggy says, well, I also remember something else about Mrs. Farmer Brown. Do you remember that you made her birthday cake? That was the first birthday cake that Mommy taught you how to make. Oh, we did. We had such a good time. Oh, that was such a good birthday party. Do you think that Mrs. Farmer Brown really liked that cake, Mommy? And Mommy Piggy says, oh, she sure did. She even mentioned that to me the other day when I saw her in town. We were at the grocery store together and we ran into each other at the baking cake aisle, and she said, you know, she says, that was one of my best birthday cakes, Mrs. Pig, and I think that you were so sweet to teach those boys how to make a birthday cake. She did, she did say that? And Mommy Piggy says, she sure did. Oh, that was so much fun. Well, do you remember just about a month ago, you went to Vacation Bible School, and remember the best day of all was a Wacky Tacky Wednesday. Oh, Mommy, we looked so funny, and all the rest of the boys and girls looked funny too. Oh, it was so much fun. And Mommy Pig says, well, I'm glad that you did that, and I'm glad that you went to Vacation Bible School, because that's a lot of fun to do too. Yes, we had a good time, said Squiggly, and we learned so much. Well, do you remember what else you did? And Piggly and Wiggly at the same time, both of them said, we do. And Piggly looked at Wiggly, and Squiggly looked at Piggly, and Wiggly looked at Piggly, and they all said, are you remembering the same thing? And Piggly says, I think so. And Wiggly says, well, what is it then? Because I remember something too that was good. And Piggly says, remember the mud run in honor of Father Drew's birthday? That was our first mud run, and we were so excited, and we did good too. We did real good because we're used to playing out in the yard and out in the woods, and we used to climbing trees and mud puddles and everything, and we did so good. Remember that? Oh my goodness gracious. That was the day that all the boys and girls in the woods entered in the mud racing, and because they were so used to doing all these things when they played, they all held hands and ran through the finish line at the same time, and they beat all the other kids. Oh my goodness gracious. I mean, when you have Allie the alligator and Little Bad Wolf on your team, I think you probably wins. I think you would. Don't you think you would? I think so. Well, how could they forget Farmer Brown's skating rink? Oh my gosh. And they were going tonight. Tonight was Saturday night, and they were going tonight. And all their friends was going to be there, and they were making new friends from the kids in town, because now the kids in town were at their same school. They all went to the same school. And so they were getting to know the boys and girls in town. And some of them was real nice. And of course, some of them was a little bit not so nice. But Mr. Farmer Brown, when they came to Mr. Farmer Brown's skating rink, oh, you better believe everybody was nice. And everybody was polite. And everybody had manners. And everybody had fun. Because Mr. Farmer Brown, he did not put up with anything going on that wasn't right. So, Mommy Piggy says, well, what else can we talk about today? Do you remember anything else? Well, I don't know, but can we do something special? We remember we had a little mini vacation that we went to Melbourne and went to the ocean, and she said yes. She said, would you like to go back there again before it gets too cold? And they said, oh, could we please? And she says, well, she said, I think in 2 more weeks, she says, I got to look at the school calendar, but I think in 2 more weeks you have 2 days off. And so we could go either Saturday and Sunday, or we could go Friday and Saturday, or Sunday and Monday. And little Piggy says, why don't we go either a Friday and Saturday or let's go Friday and Saturday, Mommy, because we don't want to miss Sunday school. We like Sunday school, and we don't want to miss Sunday school. And Mommy Piggy says, well, that's a good idea. I'm proud of you boys. So we'll plan on 2 weeks from now, we'll go to Melbourne Beach again, just before it gets too cold in the water to go. Oh my gracious sakes, they couldn't wait, and they marked it on their calendar so they wouldn't forget it. And Mommy Piggy says, well, it's time for you boys to get ready for skating rink, so let's have a quick supper so we can get all dressed for the skating rink. And they had grilled cheese and tomato sandwiches, which is always good, and some potato chips. Oh my goodness gracious, and a glass of chocolate milk. They always had to have their milk on breakfast and lunch and supper, because that made them big and strong, because milk is good for your bones and your body. Well, got time to go to Farmer Brown's skating rink, and they all piled in the car, and Mommy said, you got your seatbelts buckled now? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, all 3 of you's all buckled up, so let's go. Squiggly says, Mommy, stop. And she stopped the car. He said, you forgot to buckle your seatbelt. And she says, oh my goodness gracious, let me buckle my seatbelt. Goodness gracious, I'm so worried about you boys, I forgot to buckle mine. And they all just giggled. And so they got to the skating rink, and all their friends was there. Little Bad Wolf, because he always comes over early and helps Farmer Brown if there's anything needs to be done with the skating rink. He always comes over early. And Mrs. Farmer Brown was still busy in the kitchen making some cookies and some lemonade for all the boys and girls. And Farmer Brown had a big round tub full of ice and cold drinks. There was orange soda and grape soda. Oh my goodness gracious, and root beer. Oh my goodness gracious, such good drinks that Mr. Farmer Brown picked out. Besides Mrs. Farmer Brown's special lemonade. So they skated and they skated and they skated and they skated and they took a break, and they had some soda pop and they had some lemonade. Oh, they were just stuffing themselves. They were going to be so full they couldn't get back out in the skating rink. And they had chocolate chip cookies, fresh out of Mrs. Farmer Brown's oven. Lordy, 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 lordy. I mean, their little tummies was full. And they got back on the skating rink, and they could barely skate. Their little legs could just barely take them around the circle. And so Squiggly says, I think we need to sit down for a little while. And Little Bad Wolf started laughing. He said, my legs are twice as long as your legs, but you know what? My tummy's full too, so I'm going to sit down too. And the alligator says, I might as well sit down too. And so they sat down for maybe 2 songs. Well, Sally Skunk and Patty Pig, they were still skating. And guess what? Little Sadie Skunk, little itty bitty Sadie Skunk, 2 pounds. She'd had a birthday. She had a 3rd birthday. And she'd been practicing at home on skating. And everybody it was a secret, so nobody knew it. So Sally Skunk went back to Sadie Skunk, and she says, okay, while the kids are sitting down, let's get your skates on. They can't see you behind this wall, so we'll get your skates on, and then you go out on the skating rink. Oh, I'm going to have so much fun. Sadie Skunk, she was so excited and she was so happy. She gets her skates on and she tiptoes out. She gets to the little opening in the wall, or in the door, you know what I mean. And she gets out on the skating rink and she skates. Oh, she skated so beautiful. And her mommy had made a special little skirt that she could twirl around in. Oh, it was pink with purple flowers. Oh, it was the prettiest little skirt. Oh, and she had a little pink blouse. And she skated around and she skated around and she comes up to where the boys were sitting. And they're watching her and they're watching her and they go, oh, our little Sadie Skunk is growing up. She's skating. Oh my goodness gracious. And they all got up and they made a big circle around her. So they're making a big circle and she's in the middle and they're skating around the skating rink like this, all around her. And she was so proud of herself and she was so happy that all the boys joined in and took care of her just in case anybody should bump into her, because she's so itty bitty little bitty thing that you can't even see her half the time. She's so little. So that's one of the reasons why the boys did that. And the other reason why, because they were so proud of Sadie Skunk. And Sally Skunk says, well, I did help her learn. And Squiggly Piggy says, I know you did, Sally. I know you did. I saw you one day and you didn't know that we saw you. Well, it was time to go home. And Farmer Brown and Mrs. Farmer Brown, they looked on these boys and girls so fondly. It was just like they had a whole bunch of kids of their own. They had such a good time with these boys and girls. And, boys and girls, this is all for this time. We'll see you Friday. Okay? Bye-bye.